Hey everybody, it's Keagan here. I'm back with another video for you guys, and today I'm bringing you guys another edition of Keagan's movie reviews. And I know I did one yesterday, but I'm back bringing you guys another one. And today we're going to be talking about two movies this time. Both of these movies are ones I saw in theaters over the weekend, so let's talk about it. The first film we're going to be talking about today is the new Sofia Coppola film Priscilla, which was based on the book Elvis and Me by Priscilla, Presley, and Sandra Harmon. And this film was written and directed by Sofia Coppola and was released on November 3rd, 2023. And I actually saw this film in theaters on Friday, on the day it came out. And Sofia Coppola is the daughter of Francis Ford Coppola. And Sofia previously directed films like The Virgin Suicides, which I talked about on my channel about 2 years ago. She also directed films like Lost in Translation, Marie Antoinette, On the Rocks, which was her previous film back in 2020, and a couple of other films. I do enjoy some of Sofia Coppola's films. She's a pretty good director, much like her father. And this film I've actually been looking forward to for a little while. And this film is basically a film biopic on the life of Priscilla Presley when she met Elvis when she was like 14 and married him years later. So yeah, let's not waste any more time, and let's talk about the story of the film, and then we'll get into my thoughts on it. So the film follows a young Priscilla Presley, played by Caliee Spaeny, who you might know from another movie called Bad Times at the El Royale. And it starts out in the 50s when Priscilla was only 14 when she met Elvis, when his career was starting to take off and when Elvis was still in the army. And Elvis is played by Jacob Elordi, I believe that's how you pronounce his last name. You might know him from the TV show Euphoria. He played as Nate in that show. So anyways, the film takes place between the 50s to the early 70s when Priscilla met Elvis and became really good friends with Elvis, and then later on, years later when she got older, she would marry Elvis and would be his wife for a couple years up until their divorce in the 70s. And without giving away too much, that's basically the story of the film in a nutshell. Now, I'm not exactly sure how accurate the story is of the real life story between Elvis and Priscilla. Not that I expect it to be accurate, but this was a film I actually really enjoyed. The acting from both Jacob Elordi and Caliee Spaeny were both really well done. They were both made for the roles. And for those wondering, I have not seen the 2022 film about Elvis because there was another movie about Elvis called Elvis, and in that movie, the guy who played Elvis was Austin Butler. I haven't seen that one, so I can't comment if I liked Elordi's performance or Austin Butler's performance better, but maybe someday I'll check that movie out. But aside from that, the set designs and the cinematography is really good. And I really like the soundtrack too, which strangely enough doesn't have any Elvis songs on the soundtrack because I don't think they were given permission. They were denied of using any music by Elvis in the movie for some strange reason, so they had to use other songs. But there is a scene where Elvis is playing the piano and singing one of his songs, like on the piano, like around the beginning of the movie. I don't know if they got any issue with that, but for some reason they didn't have the licensing to play any of to use any of the other songs by Elvis in this movie, but I don't know. But I really do like the soundtrack. The soundtrack's really good. And the acting was really well done. I already said that. And it was overall a really well made film. And in my opinion, this is Sofia Coppola's best film since Lost in Translation or The Virgin Suicides. My only issue with this movie is that I didn't like how the movie just abruptly ends. Like, the way it ended felt like the movie wasn't over yet, and I'm like, are you serious? I just find it annoying whenever movies just abruptly end like that, when it feels like they weren't finished yet. But I don't know why it ended like that, but I guess it is what it is, I guess. So aside from the abrupt ending, I overall really enjoyed the film and I highly recommend it. You don't really have to be a fan of Elvis to appreciate this film. I personally really enjoyed it, and I will probably see it again. So anyways, if you haven't seen Priscilla, and if you like some of Sofia Coppola's previous films, I think you might enjoy this one. And yeah, so check it out if you want to. It's currently still in theaters as of this video. So yeah, check it out. And I'm giving Priscilla a 7.9 out of 10. And the last film we're going to be talking about today is Five Nights at Freddy's, which was based on the games that were created by Scott Cawthon. And this movie was directed by Emma Tammy and was released on October 27th, 2023. So this film came out recently. Now this film, I didn't really have any expectations for it. I just saw it on Saturday, like the day after I saw Priscilla, for just shits and giggles. And I would like to point out that I was never really a fan of the Five Nights at Freddy's games. I don't know, they just weren't really my kind of games. I just found them kind of bland and just uninteresting. I've only played the first two games, and I believe I've played the third game, but I can't remember. But I haven't played any of the other games past 2 or 3. I don't know, I was never really a fan of the Five Nights at Freddy's games. And I didn't have any expectations for this movie to be any good or anything, but I just saw it anyways for shits and giggles. And naturally, this movie was dog shit, but we'll get to more on that in a bit. But we'll talk about the story of the film, and then we'll get into my thoughts on this film. So let's take a dive into Five Nights at Freddy's. The story to Five Nights at Freddy's is a simple one. It follows a troubled security guard named Mike, played by Josh Hutcherson, who you might know from the Hunger Games movies and Zathura. And Mike recently loses his job as a security guard for a mall following an incident where he mistakes a man for kidnapping a child, and then he assaults the man. However, he's struggling to find a job, but then he finds a job at an abandoned child's pizzeria place called Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. And out of desperation, he takes the job where he's got to work the night shift, just looking over the place and not letting anybody in. But little does he know, the animatronics come to life at night. Like, the animatronics move around the place at night, potentially hurting people. And he's trying to survive all the nights at the place while trying to figure out what happened to his brother, what happened to, like, when he disappeared as a kid, and trying to not lose custody of his younger sister, since it's only him and his younger sister. And tries to uncover a mystery behind Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. And without giving away too much, that's basically the story of the film in a nutshell. Like I mentioned before, I didn't really have any high expectations for this movie, such as the trailer didn't really look that appealing. It looked like shit by the trailer. And I also wasn't a fan of the games, like I said before. And unsurprisingly, I did not like this movie at all. The movie, I just found it so fucking boring, bland, predictable, all over the place with the writing, and it just wasn't a very good movie at all. Now, there are a few positives I have with this movie. Like, I like how they didn't rely heavily on CGI for the animatronics. Like, it's a mixture of puppeteering and CGI. Like, for example, whenever the animatronics are not walking, it was used with, I think it was Jim Henson puppeteering or something like that, which actually wasn't too bad. And whenever the animatronics were walking, it was all CGI. So it was kind of a mixture of CGI and puppeteering, I think, which actually wasn't too bad. But you can notice the CGI when you watch the movie or see any of the trailers. And the scoring was actually pretty decent too. And unfortunately, those are the only positives I have with this movie. My problem with this movie is that the writing is all over the place. Like, it can't decide whether it's want to be a family drama, a horror movie with like killer animatronics, or just a mystery film with like all the missing children and the missing brother subplot and stuff. It was just like, what is even going on? It was just like, it was just kind of messing with my head. It was like, what the hell is even going on? On top of that, the writing for the dialogue was bad, and the writing for the dialogue writing for most of the child characters were terrible. And it was just, the writing was just all over the place. And it doesn't help that the film was pretty bland and boring. Like, you know what's going to happen. It's like, oh, a jump scare is going to happen. Oh, he's going to die. And let's not forget, like, the main villain's, like, motivation, like, when it's revealed at the end, it's like, it's really underdeveloped. It's like, it's just so underdeveloped that I really didn't give a shit about what the villain or what the characters were doing. Like, it was that bad. And it also, to add insult to injury, there's almost little to no tension. It's like, where's the tension? And this is a PG-13 horror movie, so there is no gore, guts, or any of that shit that you'd see in R-rated horror movies, which is not really a good sign. Now, don't get me wrong, not every PG-13 horror movie is shit. There are a few good ones like The Others, The Ring, the first one, that is. And I'm trying to think here. I thought the first Grudge was decent, like the American one. The second one was shit, though. But, again, not every PG-13 horror movie is bad, but most of the time they're usually shit. And unfortunately, that is the case with Five Nights at Freddy's here. And it just got stupid at times, too. Like, I literally died laughing at the part when the fucking animatronics were building, like, a fort with, like, all the furniture and shit inside the restaurant. It was kind of dumb, but it was funny at the same time. And there's even a lot of stuff in this movie like that doesn't make sense. Like, there's a bit of plot holes. Like, how the hell did Freddy get all the way from the pizzeria to Mike's house to pick up the sister? Like, how the hell did he get all the way there without getting spotted or noticed by anyone? You know, people are gonna notice a fucking animatronic bear walking across the street. Like, it was just so dumb. But yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about this shit flick. It was just a snooze fest. But it may not be the worst movie I've seen all year so far. Though Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey still holds that title as the worst movie of 2023 as of this video. But it was still not a very good movie either. I don't really recommend it unless you're a fan of the Five Nights at Freddy's games, but you might have a blast with it. Or if you have a kid that really likes the games, then I guess you could check it out. But overall, you're really not missing much, and I really did not like this movie at all, and I have no desire on ever checking it out again. And you can bet there will be sequels in the future. I guarantee you there's going to be at least 3 or probably more sequels in the future. Trust me on that. But in conclusion, Five Nights at Freddy was a bland, boring, predictable, and a messy film that doesn't really add anything to the table. Like, the script was a mess, and the writing was all over the place, and it was just a really shallow film that I just really did not care for, and I pretty much forgot about just about almost everything that happened in it. So yeah, I'm probably in no rush to seeing it again or any of the sequels that are probably going to come out in the future, but whatever. Anyways, I'm giving Five Nights at Freddy's a 3.5 out of 10. So there you have it, folks. That wraps up another edition of Keagan's Movie Reviews. Thank you guys for watching this video. As always, feel free to leave a like, leave a comment below, subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, share every video with your friends, and follow me on my other social medias. Links are in the description down below. And what do you guys think of these movies? Let me know in the comment section below. But anyways, guys, that's all I got to say for this video. So until next time, this is Keagan Shepard signing off. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a great day. And I'll see you guys in the next one. And yeah, take care, everybody. Peace out. Bye-bye.